What up, it's your boy T-Bird here in reaction. So, Christmas is coming next week. So I thought I'll take a break. Before I start the second batch of the kill counts, I'm gonna push y'all back on that. I thought I'd get this out the way for the holidays with the kill counts of some holiday classics. So, from this to today until on to Christmas, hopefully, I will be doing reaction to all the Christmas. Not too long ago I did the Krampus one, so now we're going to do the kill counts different days. I'm prior to tomorrow, because tomorrow's Wrestling Wednesday, and plus I got a DJ gig anyway, so might not be able to do Wrestling Wednesday this week unless I have time afterwards. But we go on no, I'm not, because I'm gonna be watching AEW after I watch NXT on the phone or whatever. But anyway, we're gonna do some Christmas Halloween horror reaction, and this is still be trying to look away. So first one, so do this for today till whenever. Gonna go down the series of the classic Silent Night, Deadly Night, include it along with the remake. I'm guessing that. I'm assuming that's a remake. Darn it, I'm all out of the place. I'm assuming that's a remake. The one in 2012. But anyway, this is the kill count for the first one that came out in 1984. This is Silent Night, Deadly Night, kill count, and this is a try not to look away. So, without further ado, let me make sure I'm on. Let's do it.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're starting the Silent Night, Deadly Night series with the original that came out in 1984. Silent Night, Deadly Night caused a huge controversy when it first came out, with people so upset about a homicidal Santa Claus that the movie was pulled from theaters a week after it released. Everyone thinks that people are too sensitive nowadays. You gotta remember that in the 80s, we had stuff like this and Sam Raimi getting obscenity charges for The Evil Dead. There was much more of
for real.
This movie, it's a little hard to understand the hubbub. Yeah, it's a bloody slasher, and it's definitely on the sleazier side of things, but compared to a lot of other slashers from the 80s, it seems pretty par for the course. I guess people just didn't like the idea of a revered childhood icon becoming a murderer. But maybe because of the controversy, Silent Night, Deadly Night became a cult classic and spawned 4 sequels, 2 of which had nothing to do with the original, as well as a 2012 remake, because of course there was one. As per usual, I'll be covering the entire franchise this month, but since the series is relatively obscure, and a lot of the movies are just plain bad, I'll be sprinkling some extra releases in between the sequels as holiday treats for you all. So no complaining about these stocking stuffers, got it? One last thing, I'll be using the unrated version of this movie for the kill count because all of the additional footage is just extra gore and nudity. The changes aren't significant enough to justify a full-on cut comparison. With that in mind, let's get to the kills. The movie begins on Christmas Eve, 1971. Little Billy Chapman is in a car with his mom, Ellie, his dad, Jim, and his baby brother, Ricky, on the way to visit Grandpapa in a, Utah mental facility. Damn, Utahns couldn't be a scotch more creative with that name. Grandpa Chapman, played by Will Hare, is catatonic and can't speak or hear anything. That is until Billy's parents needlessly leave him alone in the room to go look at Grandpa's records or some shit. That's when Grandpa springs into life like a possessed animatronic and starts spitting war on Christmas rhetoric to his grandson.
Christmas Eve is the scariest damn night of the year.
Grandpa tells Billy that Santa only rewards the kids who have been good all year without fault.
All the other ones, all the naughty ones, he punishes.
And with that traumatizing imprint on poor Billy's young psyche, Grandpa Toy Stories back into an animation just in time for Ellie and Jim to come back and pick Billy up.
I'll be good from now on, I promise.
Too late, you cute little bastard. Get on out of here. Elsewhere, a dude dressed as Santa Claus walks into a liquor store and holds the clerk up at gunpoint. When the clerk goes for his own firearm, the Santa robber shoots him in the chest, knocking him against a poorly placed shelf of chips. The criminal Santa sees the clerk is still alive and puts 2 more shots in him. The final one in his head to kick off our kill count with a bang. 3 bangs. Bang, bang, bang. The Chapman family is driving home from the Utah mental facility as this movie's reoccurring Christmas song plays on the radio.
Santa's watching, Santa's waiting, Christmas Eve is slowly fading.
When they see a Santa with his sleigh broken down on the road up ahead, they
Oh,
stop to help him out, even though
shit.
Billy's already pissing himself at the sight of the big bearded man. Billy's wet pants are justified when Santa pulls out a gun, causing Jim to throw the car in reverse so he can back on out of Santa Claus Lane. Santa shoots at the car and stops it mid-getaway, and Billy doesn't waste any time getting the fuck out of there and hiding behind some roadside shrubbery. Good thing you did that, Billy. Turns out Santa killed your dad.
Oh!
As far as we saw, was never a naughty dude at all. Yo, Santa, maybe recalibrate your moral barometer. That dude seemed alright. The Santa criminal then pulls Ellie out of the car and throws her to the ground, where he sexually assaults her by ripping open her blouse before taking out a knife and killing her.
Oh!
The kill is shown more explicitly in a flashback, so I'm including some of that footage here. It's weird to me they didn't use it in this initial scene. Billy sees all this from the side of the road, but keeps his head down as the Santa criminal yells for him. Santa must have eventually lost interest in Billy and his crying baby brother Ricky, because next thing you know, it's 3 years later, and the kids are both at St. Mary's Home for Orphan Children.
That's
See,
fucked
that's a little
up.
better on the naming front. It's not like Utah State Orphanage. The newly mulleted Billy isn't developing healthily here, with his Christmas drawing violent and graphic enough to get him in trouble with Mother Superior, the stern nun in charge of the orphanage. She doesn't have any sympathy for the Billster, nor his tragic familial history, and she also dismisses another nun, Sister Margaret, who thinks that Billy may need some extra TLC after the whole, murder Santa thing.
He needs help, Mother Superior.
He'll get it.
Yeah, he will, but maybe not the type of help you're talking about. Because right now he about to get a first-class lesson in love making when he spies through a door's cartoonish keyhole to see a sex scene shot in intimate close-ups with like softcore porn levels of caressing. As Billy gets flashbacks to when his parents were killed by the criminal Santa, Mother Superior arrives and tosses him away from the door. Then she goes inside the room and takes a freaking belt to the naked lovers.
Devil!
I don't know what's so satanic about some vanilla-ass missionary. It's not like they were doing a devil's triangle. She comes outside to yell at Billy, and the movie gives us a reminder that Billy's little brother is a character.
Billy, what's wrong? Your brother's in that case, that's what's wrong. No, he's not. Take it back.
Don't sleep on Ricky Chapman, yo. We got 2 sequels with him ahead of us. Mother Superior gives Billy your average Catholic talking to. You know, guilt and sex negativity.
But when we do something naughty, we are always caught. And then we are punished.
And then gives him some corporal punishment with a belt. I wonder if it's the same belt she beat those naked teenagers with. Billy obviously has a rough time during the Christmas season, and not even his knockoff plush figure of Charles Entertainment Cheese can keep him from having nightmares about the night his
That's
parents
all
died. To quell his
intense.
nighttime anxieties, Mother Superior ties him to the bed? What, is she trying to play hide the soul? Nah, more like save the soul. And she thinks the best way to win that game is through exposure therapy.
William will sit on Santa Claus' lap and behave.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Kids never misbehave on Santa's lap. When they try to force it, Billy knocks Santa's Christmas lights out and then hides in his bedroom corner with his developmental issues on full display.
I didn't mean to be naughty. Don't punish me.
An off-screen Mother Superior finds him, and then we freeze frame on his terrified face. Oh, okay, because we're doing a time jump. That's cool. Billy is now a strapping young 18-year-old, played by first-time actor Robert Brian Wilson, and Sister Margaret has just helped him land a job for this dude, Mr. Sims, as a stock boy in a toy store called Ira's Toys, which I believe was named after the movie's producer, Ira Barmack. We get an amazing montage of Billy adjusting to regular working life with the most puzzling song choice I could imagine.
And I won't need no more on the one side of the door.
This montage is like Wisconsin levels of cheese, and it shows us how Billy is a good young teetotaling lad who has strong bones. The 2-minute-plus montage only ends after 2 false endings to the song and an epic choir-backed finish.
Of the door.
That montage alone elevates this movie from forgettable slasher to must-see cult classic. Awesome work by musician Morgan Ames, who also composed that Santa's Watching song that sounds exactly like a real Christmas song. Billy's job performance has suffered during the holiday season, as noted by an angry coworker named Andy. It'd probably help if there wasn't a store Santa constantly hanging around and giving him flashbacks. Another coworker, Pamela, is much nicer to Billy, so naturally, he has a dream of her in another softcore pornish scene that, no joke, features the fuzziest ass crack I have ever seen. I think Billy's the mayor of Dingleberry Town. Mr. Sims is told that their usual store Santa is unavailable by another employee, Mrs. Randall, who what, is she HR or something? How can this tiny local toy store afford like 1 billion employees and a constantly present Santa Claus actor? What gives? Is this what it was like before Walmart and Amazon? Anyway, the two of them recruit Billy to be their new store Santa, and he's fucking thrilled for the opportunity. It goes about as well as you'd expect it to.
I don't bring toys to naughty children. I punish them severely.
But I guess the parents like the way he scares their kids into submission, so good casting call, Mr. Sims. At the end of the workday on Christmas Eve, Mr. Sims locks up and puts his party pants on.
It's over! Time to get shit-faced!
I will say this about the 80s versus now. It'd be great to get smashed at a work party with your manager and coworkers, even the random ones who are only here now to help fill out this party scene. I feel like this doesn't happen as often nowadays. Maybe because these parties kept leading to awkward conversation.
Thinking about my parents.
Oh, good. That's fine. That's fine.
They're dead.
Oh.
With work parties like this, you've got to worry about drunken hookups. And after Andy and Pamela head to the back room together, we see just how poorly those can go. Billy drunkenly stumbles back there to follow them and sees Andy harassing Pamela underneath the Christmas lights. Andy gets real severe real fast, ripping open Pamela's shirt and pushing her down in an unfortunate scene that triggers traumatic flashbacks for Billy. And if you think this movie uses flashbacks a lot, just wait until the sequel. This is when Billy Chapman finally snaps, and while screaming naughty, he attacks Andy, grabs some Christmas lights, and lifts him off the ground with them wrapped around his neck. It doesn't take long for Billy to secure his first kill, murdering Andy via colorful
Whoa,
asphyxiation.
shit.
At least he doesn't leave the body hanging up after New Year's. Pamela, shocked at the violence she just saw, calls Billy a crazy bastard and lashes out at him. So in response, he grabs a box cutter and proselytizes in her face.
Punishment is necessary, Pamela.
He stabs her and kind of a dick move to murder the victim in this one, Billy, but I guess you're all kinds of messed up, huh?
Yeah,
Mr.
fuck.
Sims comes back to the storeroom to investigate the noises he's heard, and yep, he gets killed too after Billy jumps out from behind a shelf with a hammer and kills the store manager with a swipe of the claw. The kill itself is off screen, but in just a minute, Mrs. Randall will come back and find his body lying among a bunch of boxes, giving us a better look at it. Merry Christmas to us all. With the background extra store workers all apparently gone by this point, Mrs. Randall is the last to go, and Billy kills her by shooting her with an arrow that goes straight through her back. Only in the fuzzy unrated footage do you get to actually see the arrow through her body, so yeah, if you couldn't tell already, the unrated version is the only way to go with this movie. Billy clocks out and leaves all his victims' bodies behind, so later, when Sister Margaret comes to check on him, she finds them and screams with the nutcrackers. In a random house across the street from some overacting caroling extras, as though there were any other kind of caroling extras, two teenagers make out on a pool table. The girl, Denise, is either the sister or babysitter of a little girl named Cindy, but their relationship doesn't really matter. What does matter is that Denise is played by Scream Queen Linnea Quigley in her first proper kill count appearance, one that isn't as a topless soul inside of Freddy's chest.
shit.
Instead, she's a topless teenager, making out with Tommy, who's played by Leo Geter. You know him, he was fake Howard Stern in Halloween 6.
Does she get this riled up in the sack, Tim?
Oh, that's him.
She wears crotchless panties and barks like a dog.
Let's see how different of a character he plays in a movie 10 years before that one.
You don't go back to bed. Santa won't come.
He's not the only one. 2 ball in the corner pocket.
Okay, not that different. Their extended sex scene ends when Denise has to go let the cat inside. And since she's Linnea Quigley, she does so topless. But Denise, look what the cat dragged in.
Punish!
It's a murder Santa. Billy axes his way through the front door and chases Denise into a wood-paneled den. God, that looks just like my friend's house growing up. After a short bout, he picks her up and carries her over to the deer antlers on the wall.
Oh, why?
Punish!
He punishes her with the movie's most memorable kill, even though I totally forgot about it when I said the deer antler killing Get Out was something I had never seen before. Sorry, y'all, it's been like 15 years since I last
That's
saw
fucked
it.
up.
So, you know, how could I forget this? With random-ass Denise dead, we just need to kill her random-ass paramour, and Leo Geter gets it when he stopped from making a phone call by Billy and then strangled with the phone cord. That mostly doesn't end, but just for good measure, Billy, rips off his shirt, and then with one more utterance of his boring-ass catchphrase,
Punish!
he lets loose and tosses Tommy out the window, killing him with a two-story fall that only ever works on beatbag characters, never the killers. Oh, and a later shot shows him looking pretty superior there. Nice glass. Billy reacts, and on his way out, runs into little Cindy.
Have you been good? Or have you been naughty?
When Cindy affirms her lack of naughtiness, he gives her a bloody box cutter. Damn it, Santa, this accessory is useless if you don't also give me box-cutting Barbie. Now, if you thought the Linnea Quigley scene was a non sequitur, here's something even more random. A scene where we watch two kids with sleds in a forest get beaten up by a couple of bullies. The bullies scare them off and steal their sleds so they can have a rousing good time together. I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, that's what I thought you said. When the screeching bully takes his turn on the sled, Doyle rules! His ride is cut short by Mr. Billy Man. Yeah,
Oh!
gets decapitated with an axe, and his headless body slides down the slope on the sled where his screaming friend finds it. Hey dude, are you sure that's Mac? Because it's not like there's a head or anything. Oh, yep, I guess that's Mac then. Throughout all this, the cops have been scrambling for Santa Claus, causing them to invade the occasional house without a warrant and ruin the occasional childhood.
Daddy.
Yo, fun fact, that Daddy Claus is friggin' Don Shanks, the guy who played Michael Myers in Part 5. You know, the one all of you pointed out was so super ripped in my video interviewing the Michael Myers actors. This was 5 years before he played Mikey. Crazy, right? Sister Margaret offers to help the police and tells them that Billy is probably headed to the orphanage in which he grew up, where Mother Superior is now in a wheelchair, but still just as cranky about her orphans getting Christmas gifts. They send a cop, Officer Barnes, over to St. Mary's to check it out, and when he gets there, he does in fact find a Santa Claus crossing the street to meet a bunch of excited orphans. Chief among them, Billy's little brother Ricky, played by a third actor now. Barnes gets out of the car and opens fire on the Santa, killing Ricky Mark III. Only it turns out that this Santa was Father O'Brien, who was slated to be the orphanage's Santa Claus.
Oh shit!
Warnings because he was deaf. Damn, that cop killed a priest.
That's fucked up.
At once? That definitely gets you on the naughty list. It at least gets him a dressing down from Mother Superior, and to apologize for his pastor side, he offers to look around the orphanage and help secure the area. He ends up checking out a, well, I thought it was a work shed, but it actually might be a bomb shelter. Let's see, 1984, that's first term Reagan Cold War era. Yeah, probably a bomb shelter.
That's
in any case, he dies when he's done exploring it.
Punish!
Oh!
Yeah, he gets killed by an axe slash to the chest that sends him falling backwards down the stairs. I love the sunken place-like shot that moves past Billy to show the body. Fun stuff from director Chuck Sellier. Billy and his bloody axe lays waste to a poor innocent snowman who definitely had never been naughty, and then a little orphan kid goofs up hard and lets Billy into the building, even though Mother Superior warns the children against him.
But Mother Superior is Santa Claus.
Kid's got a point, lady. It is Santa Claus. But instead of trying to explain what's happening to the kids, Mother Superior just comes right out and ruins their Christmas.
There's no Santa Claus.
Billy doesn't like that naughty talk, so he takes out his axe to kill the old nun. But his slow motion strike takes far too long, and he instead gets shot to death through the back by the police captain who came with Sister Margaret. The class act sister comes to Billy's side as he croaks out his final words to his fellow orphans.
You're safe now. Santa Claus is gone.
With that, Billy Chapman dies a dramatic soap opera-y death. And don't worry, Billster, nobody's gonna miss you and your crazy judgmental ass. The movie ends with Ricky poised to take Billy's place after giving Mother Superior a very spiteful glare down and adapting Billy's secondary catchphrase.
Naughty.
How many kills did we kick off our holiday season with this year? Let's find out and get to the numbers. And don't worry, I checked them twice. 13 people died in Silent Night, Deadly Night. The victims consisted of 9 men and 4 women, 3 of whom were topless when they died. No special pie wedge for that or anything, I just wanted to point it out. Naughty! With a runtime of 85 minutes for that unrated version, we wound up with a kill on average every 6.54 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Denise. Definitely the most inventive death in the movie, with some solid special effects work and all that footage cut out from the R-rated version. Plus, it's Linnea Quigley. Dull machete for lamest kill will go to Billy Chapman himself. There were a bunch of boring gunshot kills here, but when it comes to the movie's big bad, you've gotta do better. And that's it. Silent Night, Deadly Night came out in 1984 and only lasted a week in theaters before angry PTA groups got it pulled. A sequel would come out 3 years later and, well, you'll see more about that tomorrow, because surprise, we're kicking off December with an extra release. But until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this week's Kill Count. I want to thank a couple of patrons.
So, yeah. Cheesy ass movie, but crazy. The one that got to go to show got me where it's like, oh god, that was fucked up. And then it's some fucked up kills, but that was the most fucked up out of them all. But no, that was the most fucked up looking one. The fucked up one of them the cop shooting the damn deaf priest, cause he, but whatever. But other than that, not bad. And this is so cheesy. No telling what the next one's gonna be. Didn't look away though. That's a good thing. Got a little on some of the deaths, but didn't look away. Other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.